Oh, I hope this doesn't. Hello. Hello, everybody. Happy weekend to you all. I hope you guys are having a super awesome day. Let's find this video right quick. That way, easier for me to read some comments. If you guys are out there, be sure to say hello. If you see the red live over here, that means you are watching in real time and we can chat. If not, replay's always cool. I appreciate you guys being here regardless of how you're watching. So, like I said, we're going to give it just a little bit before we do our real project. But let's do a little bit of fun little prep work. We'll have some people jump on. Yes. And in case you don't know, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is April Walls. You guys are watching on my lovely channel, Chalking Up the Walls. Yeah, and I hope you enjoy this one. This, I think, is going to be kind of a fun little project. I'm going to kind of show you like two different ways that you can ultimately do it. But I wanted to go ahead and prep the surface ahead of time. So it's a very thin 1/8 inch, you can see how thin that is, 1/8 inch birch plywood that's cut in the shape of a mason jar. We just want to cover it with some type of paint or surface. I like painting with our chalk paste. It dries incredibly fast, very easy to work with. I have a ton of colors to choose from, and you can always like match and not match. You can mix your own colors if you want them to be a little bit more custom. That's for sure. And then, exactly, so with the colors, you always know that they're going to then match the rest of the things that you do with the transfer. So you don't have to worry about trying to find like the perfect shade of pink or like that, you know, like perfect blue or something like that. Just use the colors that we have. And then whenever you use them for our transfers, you know it's going to work out great. So always one of my favorite things to do is to paint with the chalk paste. And I already went ahead and did the one that we're going to do tonight with our Feels Like Home transfer. I'll show you guys this one a little bit better once I open it. It's part of our chalk story, so it has this big sticker on there. But you guys can see that in a minute. But let's show you how we do this. All right, so this one obviously is going to be a little wet, so I probably won't be able to complete the whole project. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how long it takes us to do the rest of the stuff, and maybe we'll get both of them done. If not, we can always finish it up tomorrow. That's for sure. But I wanted to show you guys how we do it. This one, though, I want to do in a different color. So obviously that one I painted with our black chalk paste and then sanded it down, distressed it a little bit so it's a little bit lighter of a black. Not really a gray, but not like a completely like black. But this one, I think I'm feeling, I have another transfer that is all about lemons and lemonade and that kind of stuff. So I think that's what I'm going to ultimately do with this one. So I want to paint it yellow. So that way you guys can see two different options. And this surface is a found surface. It was cut as a mason jar cutout, but it's not a chalk one. You can't buy the surface off of my website. But if you want to make some of them, send me a message and I can send you the link as to where I got it. Let's get to painting. Let's do it. All right, so we just take a little bit of our good old chalk paste, put it in a little tray. I'm going to spray some water to thin it out just a tad. That way it goes on more like a paint and less like the paste. Let's mix this up a little bit and we'll get to going. But anyway, so I hope you guys, like I said, have had a wonderful weekend so far. It's not quite halfway over, I guess, so maybe you've got time to do something awesome yet tonight. My daughter and I actually just went for a walk. It's gorgeous outside. It's a little chilly, but if you put your jacket on, and I even walked around the neighborhood in flip-flops, so it's not terribly cold. Good brisk night to get out there and get a little exercise in. So we took a relatively decent little walk around our neighborhood, enjoyed some fresh air, which we've actually been doing all day, to be honest with you. We did some some outside stuff. It's that time of year where you got to get your flower gardens ready and prepare to mulch and all that kind of jazz. So we got some of that knocked out today. All right, any old paintbrush will do. Everybody has their favorite paintbrush. This is one of my favorites, but any old paintbrush will do. You could even use these like sponge brushes. The like disposable sponge brushes. They work pretty well too, but I don't know, I like this brush. And I had it out because it's the one that I had just used for the black. Obviously I've washed it, but all right, so let's get this stick out of the way. It's not in the way of our paste. All right, and we're just gonna put our brush right in there, and then we're just gonna get to covering this. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, you guys were able to do something, something fun for your day. There's like a piece of hair in there, but that's all right. Get it cleaned up. All right, just painting away. Trying to think what else. A lot of yard work today. Yeah, a lot of yard work today, but it was a beautiful day to be outside. Once it stopped raining. It was raining this morning here. There's some little fibers from my paintbrush that came up. I'm gonna get that out. That way I don't have to sand it out later. I don't know why he's there. Come out of there, little hair. Seriously. All right, cool. And that's as simple as it is. Now you just water down the paste, get your paintbrush, and get to covering. We'll try to do this quickly though, so you don't have to watch too much painting. But like I said, I wanted to have the project pretty well good to go and ready for you guys. So I previously, earlier tonight went ahead and did that. But I thought, since I'm going to end up doing this one too, I might as well show you how to do it. You guys have seen this process before though, if you've watched. I really like to paint with our chalk paste. I do it a lot. And this I think is going to be a super cool, lemons and bees. Lemons and bees this spring are like the go-to for home decorating and whatnot. I'm not real sure which one is even more popular. I'm telling you, everywhere I go, I see all kinds of lemons and bees. So I'm going to go with the lemons on this. This actually would be kind of cute to do in a bee style. You can make it look like a honey jar. That would be pretty cool. We're going to need more paste. I didn't think about that. I'm pretty sure I have a few transfers that have some bees on them, so I might have to do some looking. I got a whole bunch of these. So these wood cutouts I was telling you guys about, I bought online, and they just arrived one day earlier this week. Haven't even had a chance up until today to even like open up the box that they were in. But that's neither here nor there. Got them open, all is well. And there were 8. It's an 8-pack of these wood cutouts. So I can do a variety of different things with them. One of which I think should actually be honey with the bees. That's a good idea. I'm going to set this on my trusty wooden board so I don't get paint all over the place. Yeah. So tomorrow's going to be the big grocery shopping trip. Haven't been grocery shopping in a little while. Our refrigerator's looking a little sad. But we did okay. Kind of had to use what we got, sort of a dinner, and everybody was full and joyous. So I consider that a win. Sometimes you have to do that, man. I really just don't like wasting food if I don't have to. Sometimes some of the fresh fruits and vegetables will go down because your eyes are bigger than your stomach sometimes in the produce department, or at least for me anyway. But I really just don't like wasting food. So in the event that there's not like a fully planned dinner and it gets to be like that time where we seriously have to do like some shopping, I'll just go through the freezer and then the pantry and see what's in there, and usually can throw something together. You got to make room for the new stuff, right? You have to use up the old stuff. Plus, no sense in being wasteful. So they had, what was it, prime rib. I did have some of that, like, frozen. So they had prime rib, and it was like a, oh, what do you call those little onions? Like the whole onions. Little pearl onions and some mushrooms. And made kind of like a mushroom gravy to go with that, and then just your typical like Insta pasta or whatever that stuff is. You guys know what I'm talking about. It comes in like the little bags. All you need to do is add like a little bit of milk, water, and cook them. I don't think it's like rice-a-roni because it's not rice. I honestly don't know what the name of that company is. But it makes for a pretty cool little side dish, something easy. Takes like 10 minutes. And you don't need a whole lot to go with it. Actually, I think you're supposed to put milk, water, and butter. That's the one I was missing. Yeah, so as long as you got a little bit of those three things, you can always have a pretty quick side. So we just threw that together. And the crew was joyous. All right, guys, I think for all intensive purposes, that is pretty well covered. There's still a couple, I don't know where these little fibers are coming from. I wonder if it's pulling up from the wood. That may be what's going on. Well, which is why we always do this base coat and then ultimately, I just made that worse. Ultimately end up sanding it down a little bit. Raw wood has the tendency to, yeah, there we go. Has the tendency to pull up like any of the loose like wood fibers. So definitely make sure if you do something like this with raw wood, after you, it is an extra step, but it's very important. After you have it painted and dried, go over it real lightly with a piece of sandpaper because it's going to get like bumpy. You don't want to scratch yourself, or if you're making this for a friend, or if you're making it to, you know, like resale, you don't want your customer or your friends to end up getting a splinter from your craft. That would be no good. So go ahead and do that. All right, but anyway, that's how simple that was. And now it's yellow. It looks a little splotchy because parts of it have dried and other parts have not. But again, like I was saying, when it's completely dry, I'll take my trusty sandpaper, go over it, and put a second coat on top of it, and all that'll disappear. But anyway, that guy is started. So let me go drop this in the water, and let's carry on to our fun project. It's a pretty cool yellow. I think it's called Bumblebee, maybe? It's like super bright. Super, super bright. Bumblebee, yep, that's the name of that one. That's one of... That color I have had for a long, long time. I think that's actually one of the first colors that came in like my business kit whenever I first joined Chuck. So, and that's over a year ago, folks. Can you believe I've been doing this for over a year? So the paste will do you, if you, take care of it and love it and all that jazz, it will last a while. I need to get down here and organize some stuff. I just get so many projects that I can't wait to make that I've got like little bits and pieces of all over the place. But, such is crafting. All right, so back to the game plan. This one has been painted, sanded, repainted, dried completely, and then I did even put a little layer of our wax over it just to protect it. And it is super smooth and ready to go. So this transfer that I was showing you guys kind of earlier, it's called Feels Like Home. Now you can see it in its entirety. It's got this super cool like rooster. It's got some like leaves and stuff in the background, or like on top of them. I don't know if that's really background. But anyway, the rooster, and then obviously Feels Like Home. This is one of our A-size transfers. It is the smallest of the complete transfers. We have, like minis, but they come in a larger... The hot glue's oozing out. Our minis are always a B size, so that's 8.5 by 11, but you get 12 of the minis in that. But this A size is the smallest of the transfers, for sure. And this one is part of that super popular Farm Charm collection. I've done a few projects using the Farm Charm collection, but this little transfer I haven't used yet, and I think it's going to look super cool on this. Feels Like Home. So as always, with a new transfer, I like to take a marker and write on the back of it. That way I know which backer sheet this particular transfer goes on, and also which side. These backer sheets have two different finishes on them. The side that is okay, so the side that your transfer goes on, like the adhesive side of your transfer sticks to, is a glossy type paper. And then the opposite side that I write on is more of like a matte finish. So it is important to know which side is which, because when you go to put your transfers back on after you've cleaned them and let them dry and all that jazz, so you can put them away and store them for the next time you're going to use them, you want to make sure you put it on the right side, because if you were to put it on the papery side, it could potentially rip that backer sheet and pull some of that paper up with the adhesive that's on here, and then you could potentially ruin your transfer if you couldn't get that paper back off. It's possible, if that were to happen, that you could try to put quite a bit of water on that paper, get it to, you know, paper goes, get kind of like mushy, and you could possibly get it back off, but save yourself the trouble and don't mess with that. All right, so all we're doing here is just putting a happy little layer of fuzz on the back of our transfer. As you guys just saw, it is brand new, and I don't want it to peel up any of this stuff. So these new transfers are super sticky too, so fuzz, fuzz, fuzz. Fuzz, fuzz, fuzz. I like to use my special little fuzzing cloth here, but if you don't have one, it's not necessary. You can use just an old towel or even a t-shirt or something. All you're really looking for is just a fun little layer of lint. That's all you need. Doesn't have to be any particular color, shape, size, anything like that. You just need some lint. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So I don't believe, although it is super cute, it's not quite the feeling that I am going for in this one. And like I said, I have 8 of these, so I could definitely put it on another one. But I don't think I'm really feeling the rooster. I just want it to say feels like home. So I'm going to get it lined up, placed, and then we're going to tape this off. Yep. You know, it's so super cool how like bits and pieces and creative and whatnot you can get with these little transfers. Like, you can do them the way they're completely designed. You surely don't have to. You can mix and match however you want. It gives you that opportunity for sure. And then next time you can do it a completely different way. Absolutely. All right, so all I'm doing is taking a little bit of, it's similar to like a washi tape. It's our placement tape, and masking off. It's like a masking style. And masking off that little dude's foot, because I don't want his foot on there. If I don't want him on there, I surely don't want the rest of the foot. I'm going to take my squeegee and just kind of gently go over the area that I do want. You know what? Sometimes I get a little wild and crazy with my paste. I'm going to go ahead and mask off this other little piece of this chicken, because I really just don't want it on there. And I don't want to have to try to clean it up later. So I'll just save myself that bit of drama. All right. So ideally, you guys can see what I'm talking about with the masking there, right? So you just put the tape right around the little area that you do not want your paste to go through, and you're good to go. All right. So let's do it. I originally planned to do this project in our shimmer copper, which obviously is a copper color. It's super cool, and it's like sparkly, shimmery. But my child decided that she thought it would look better in this shimmer harvest, which is more like a yellow, like a dark, I think it looks a lot like gold, but it's a little bit more yellow. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Do it in that color and see what happens. And then we will pretty up the top, and this project will be in the books. Absolutely. So yeah, kind of a work weekend. My last weekend was more of like a super fun party style weekend. So it was time to get out there and get some stuff done. It was. So my flower beds are looking gorgeous. I got high hopes of the weather being a little bit warmer tomorrow and possibly going to get my garden all tilled up and ready to plant. It's a little early for some of my plants to actually go out in the ground. I don't like to put them in, I mean, depending on what you're growing, but I don't like to put them in super early because then you run the risk of them getting like frosted, and I don't know. It's still, this weather is still like a little unpredictable here in the Southern Illinois, and I will be mad if I put all that effort in and the plants die. So no, but it is definitely time to get the ground like prepared for it. It is, it is. So that's probably the game plan for tomorrow. We shall see. All right, guys. I just stirred it up a little bit. The shimmers are always a super awesome consistency, but I like to stir them just in case, just to make sure everything's all good and mixed up. And then I'm just gonna grab some with our squeegee and go top to bottom and just start covering. Yeah, so this is also a shimmer, like the other one I was thinking about using. And that being said, right, so the shimmers just by nature have to be a little bit thicker because they have that like mica style glittery look to them. So in order to, seriously, you did not just do that. I might have gotten the tail of the chicken, but it'll be fine. Don't worry. Don't stress. No worries. Got all excited talking about the shimmer because I love it. But anyway, so it's a thicker consistency. So you do have to press a little bit harder to get it to go through the silk screen. Nothing intense. I mean, nothing that you can't do. But it doesn't glide quite like the buttery paste. That's for sure. But I love it. I love that it gives the look of glitter and like just a little like sheen, sparkle, shine, but without the mess of glitter. I don't have to worry about there being glitter all over me, glitter all over my table, all over the floor, all over anything. And likewise, whenever this project goes to somebody's home, I don't have to feel like I've just glitter bombed their house, because although there is definitely a time and place for a good glitter bomb, don't get me wrong, I'm not a glitter hater, but there's also a time and place for non-glitter bombs. All right, I think we got this guy pretty well covered. Let's peel it up and see where we're at. We're gonna peel up a little slowly just in case, like I said, some of that paste didn't go through, but all right, start at the top, peel from the middle. Always peel from the middle so you don't stretch it out. And then just slowly but surely make sure we got all of our letters nice and covered. Yeah, I did get the tail of that little rooster guy, but I'm going to take that right off. Ooh, so far so good. We had really great coverage. With the shimmers, you just have to take your time and just make sure it goes through really well. And as long as you do that, there's absolutely no worries. But let me stick this right to the side of my table for a second. And what do I want to use to get that off? You know what? I'm going to use one of these little makeup wand guys. Little makeup applicator thing. Just take a little bit of water, cover the bottom of it, and I'm going to clean up this little bitty speck. Hopefully, maybe I should show you before I do it. It's right above the L. Yeah, you can see that little bitty speck there. It does not belong there, so get off there, glitter. Perfect. All right, and that easy to make that go away. If for some reason, like, we weren't able to get that to come off of there, we definitely could have went back in with the black paste and painted over it, but since it has been painted, sanded, and waxed, pretty easy to get it off of there. Oh, the key would be not putting more back on there with your dirty finger, though, April. Seriously, did I just do that? Did I just do that? Lord have mercy. All right, for real this time. Stop touching it. All right, I'm gonna let this bad boy sit right here for a second. Maybe I can prop it up so you guys can look at it. I don't know if that's possible. No, it's not. Maybe like that. I'm gonna go rinse this guy real quick. Give me like 30 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves while y'all out there. Keep each other company. I just don't want this shimmer to dry in my silk screen. So I just run it under some like lukewarm water. Definitely not hot because you don't want to melt the transfer. Just some lukewarm water. And I use a board eraser, which is similar to like a magic eraser. And just get all of that color off of there. All of it, all of it, all of it. And then your transfer is right back to new. I think we might as well just finish it out. We can even dry it. Yep. Feels like home. Feels like home. So what do you guys think? Do you like that rooster? You guys do farmhouse? You know, not everybody's house is farmhouse style. So that's why I thought I would try this particular design without it. But anyway, so after you get it all, I'm dripping, but after you get it all clean, just place it sticky side up if you want it to naturally dry on like a dish towel or even like a little rack or something like that. Or if you want it to like dry a little bit more quickly, all right, these guys out of the way. You can place it inside this fuzzing cloth. The inside is a terry cloth, and it serves as a drying mechanism. So, you know, like I said, you don't have to have the Couture fuzzing cloth, but it is dual purpose. It is. It's pretty cool. And then your transfer is dry, clean, and ready to be stored away again, right? So let that sit here for a second. And then eventually we'll just put it right back on this side. Remember, because we wrote on this side. And then it just goes right back into its sleeve. And next time I feel like I need it, it's there waiting for me. It's there waiting for me. All right, cool. So that little chalking bit went really smooth and pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. All right, so there's that. Put my lid back on here so it doesn't dry out. Let's hit this just for a second. Sorry, it's a little loud. Let's hit this for a second. It looks so perfect, I don't want to bump into it and mess it up. So let's dry it. Dry. Perfect. All right, cool. And now for the fun part, we're going to make it pretty. All right, so I'm thinking, should we do the silver cord with the gold lettering? Or do we stick with the jute? So many options. What do you think? Jute. No, I think we need the glitter top. All right, and so the idea behind this is we just want to offset this lid. Now that we've painted it all one color, we want to make sure that it still definitely looks like a canning type mason style jar. All right, if I could hold this and show you guys. This is what we're after, right? Okay, so this is just some cord that I've had for like ever and ever and ever, and I finally got to, sad but true, finally got to the end of my roll. So I'm gonna have to go and see if I can find some more cord like this because it's perfect for all kinds of stuff, and it's gonna look really cool on here. All right, I think I want to double it up though. How did we have that? Make them flat. That way it goes across the width of the whole thing. Yeah, that's where it's at. All right, so let's hold this like that. Theoretically, we can hold that like that. We're gonna take our trusty hot glue and glue down this side just like that. Man, if we only had like 5 arms, it would be a little bit easier. You could definitely use a piece of tape. I've done that before. Used a piece of even that same like placement washi style tape just to hold it in place while you glue. We're gonna put a little dab of glue right on here. take these cords and just press them. Make sure they're where we want them. Just squeeze down like such, right? We can go in, ouch, and shore that up a little bit better, but just for the sake of placement right now, that's what I want to do. Get that guy stuck right on there. That way I don't have to worry about it moving on me. Clean up some of our little strings while it dries. All right, and now, see, it's not going anywhere. And we can take our time getting these lined back up. Press them down, because I want them to look flat, like the rim of the jar. Pull them rather tightly. And then flip it over. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side. Just take our hot glue, squeeze it down there. I even got my little hot glue fingers out, so ouch, I wouldn't burn myself, but as you guys can see, I did not use them. They are super cool. If you, ooh, that wouldn't have been a bad idea, twisting it. I'm gonna try that. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of these, so I'm gonna make them in all kinds of different shape, ways, or forms. I thought, that's funny that you say that. I actually thought about trying to twist, I don't wanna burn myself again. Use that, press you down like such. All right, cool. I actually thought about, Mike, thanks for watching, by the way, good to see you on here. Thought about twisting the silver cord with the jute and making it like a dual tone. So I might try to incorporate that. I don't know. We're gonna, and you know what, worst comes to worst, I just hot glued it. We could always like pry it off there and try it again. I kinda like the way it looks. I do. I like how it's got, you know, like has like the little lined coils like you see on actual like mason jar lids. All right. So I am rather pleased with that. I am. All right, cool. And then last but not least is, if I can find where I have put it, here it is. We're gonna make it such that it'll hang. You know what? We could definitely wrap some more jute around it. Make it a little bit wider rim. I don't know. We'll think about that. I might think about that. Or even put maybe some little texture on the top of the jar too. When I sanded it, I tried to like sand in a kind of like a semicircle, like a flat oval type shape, so it does actually look cool. So it does actually look kind of like a jar lid. All right, let's stick the glue gun up there. Thank you. All right, so this guy is super cool. It's called a crocodile. People use them a lot for like scrapbooking and all kinds of different crafts. But it functions as kind of like a semi-heavy duty hole punch, right? So these sides here, not so much the middle. This is where you'd put like a rivet if you were doing like fabrics. But this up here, I don't know if you guys can see it move. Yeah, you can see it if you look really closely. It's gonna poke a hole. Actually, 2 holes. And we're gonna tie this up with the jute. That's why I decided not to use the jute around the top, although I probably could have. So let's go in and make 1 hole right about there. Punch. Makes perfect hole. Makes a perfect hole. I love this thing. You just have to pay a little bit of attention when you make that second hole that it's somewhat, you know, like even. So focus for just a little bit. Knock that piece of wood out of there. This thing can punch holes in all kinds of stuff though. I use it all the time. I love it. I do. And I think that looks pretty good. There. All right. Squeeze. Hole 2 is in there. All right, now we have our 2 holes. And from here on out, you could do all kinds of stuff. You could add like farm beads and like do, I don't know, all kinds of fun stuff. I'm gonna play around with it and make a few different, make it a few different ways. Do we want it to be, No, I think just one's going to be good enough. I was looking to see if I had some slightly thicker jute, but I think one's going to be good enough. All right, so let's find our trusty scissors and finish this guy off. Jute comes in like all kinds of varieties of thicknesses. Even within like one big old roll of it, you will find like thicker and skinnier pieces and parts and stuff. So you can do a lot of cool stuff. I want the knot on the back. All right, so we're gonna flip them back over. We're gonna run our jute in here. Gonna make a knot, a happy little knot. That way it does not, saw what I did there, right? Slip through. So we're gonna do one knot, pull it very tightly, and go back over the exact same spot and make like a double thick knot, okay? Now, our knot will not squeeze through there. Perfect. And then we'll trim up that edge too here in a little bit, but do the same thing on this side. Just run that right through there. Let's see how long do I want it? I think this is pretty good, right? So just measure it before you tie it off. See how like, you know, big and long it is that you want. And then make your knot accordingly. Just twist. And again, we're gonna have to do a double knot without pulling all of our string out. Yep. So I think we might end up, I hope you guys are doing something fun other than watching me tonight, although I do greatly appreciate that. That's super awesome. We might wrap our evening up with a movie. Lily got a couple new movies for Easter. They're movies I've never even heard of before, so I'm kind of, let me think. Was it Cats and Dogs? So I think the general premise with these cats and dogs is they're almost like spy cats, or like, you know, they have that like Spy Kids franchise or whatever. So I imagine it to be like similar to that, only they're cats and they're dogs. And I think the cats are trying to take over the world and the dogs are trying to save the world or something like that. I don't know, but it sounds like an absolute blast. Plus we have 3 cats and we like dogs. So anytime we can watch a movie that has animals in it is always a good thing. So I think that's probably how we're going to wrap up our evening. But anyway, this is how we made our first of the mason jars. You know what? We're not done. I thought we were done. I have an idea. It just looks a little plain. It needs something. I don't want to put a big old bow on it. I don't want to do anything crazy like that, but I'm going to add, some flowers. I am. So let's trim this up. Get these long extra strings out of the way. Go ahead and cut that crazy rogue piece of cord. Pitch that. And let's use some of these cool, like, white flowers. So these are paper flowers that I actually had completely forgotten that I had until I found them. I think I used them in some type of decoration for my wedding. I honestly don't even remember what we used them for, but something. So let's go ahead and add a couple of those on top of here, just so it feels a little bit more like home. I don't want to cover up. I don't want to cover that up though. So what do you think? Need some flat little flowers on here though somewhere. Maybe right where that rooster was supposed to be. Yeah, that's what it needed. It needs a big flower of some sort. Like a big, happy flower. Right there. Unfortunately, I did not. Yep. That's what it needs. All right. Yay. Fortunately, I didn't unplug my hot glue gun either, so this should be quick and painless. We're just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of here. So much for my super quick, fun, and fast project. Lil's probably like, are we ever gonna watch the movie or what? Oops. I told her I'd be quick. I was not quick. Oh, well, whatever. It's still all fun and games. All right, so we got this down. Our flower. Kind of fluff him up a little bit so he's got some dimension. Be cool, little flower. Eliminate our, you know, and so this, if we weren't able to get that little spot that we had earlier off, we could have always just covered it up like this too. Yeah, that, friends, is where it's at. I think that finished her off, and it's just a paper little flower. So, simple, fabulous, easy little mason jar cutout hanger. You could use a big ribbon, or you could even put like some, like I was saying, farm beads might actually be super cute around here too. But just for your basic style, number one, this is where it's at. I really kind of like it, and it's super lightweight. You could hang it anywhere. I mean, this would even be awesome in like a, ooh, that would be fun. This would even be awesome in like a camper because it's super lightweight. These 1/8 inch birch wood cutouts, I mean, they weigh like nothing, absolutely nothing. So this is the one that we painted that we will probably finish up. Maybe I could do that one tomorrow too, because tomorrow, oh, I left it upstairs or somewhere. But anyway, guys, the new monthly club Couture transfer came in the mail. So this month it's gonna be Sundays when we work with that one. So the first installment of April 2021 Club Couture will debut tomorrow. And then after we wrap that up, I'm probably gonna make that lemonade sign too. That's gonna be my game plan. So I'm not, man, we got a lot going on tomorrow, but I'm trying to decide. It'll be evening. I'm thinking it'll be probably like early mid-evening. You guys should definitely come and check it out for sure. I'll maybe make a little post on my page, give you guys a better idea tomorrow as to what time. But if worse comes to worse, you can always watch the replay. All right, well, Mike, Carrie, much appreciate you guys both being on here. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and then whomever the other people were that popped in and out, hi, for sure. All right. Thank you, Miss Carrie. Thank you, Jones. Appreciate it. All right, y'all enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll let you know how that movie turned out, for sure. All right, guys. Love you guys. Bye.